What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to use the Atomic Analyst and we're going to connect it to the Smart Universal Expert Advisor. By now, you already have seen how the Smart Trend is connected to the Smart Universal Expert Advisor, so you are already good at it. But at the same time, I would love really to do it step by step for you to as well, like follow up. You can play the video on another screen and do exactly what I do. This is one thing that you can do. That's going to help you a lot. But anyways, let's practice again with the Atomic Analyst. And as you guessed it, when I wanted to connect any indicator to the Smart Universal Expert Advisor, I need two main things to start with. I need the name of the indicator in the location of the indicator in terms of like the files inside of the indicator file, or is it in the market? And I need the buffers, the right buffers for the indicator. Now, the good thing with my indicators is that they come with buffers that are displayed already on the screen, and you can find them easily. But some of the indicators in the market, they don't even care about the buffers, or they don't provide the buffers, because that's basically the way their indicators is set up, because they don't even think about the use of their indicators. But in my case, I think about the use of the indicator in many ways, and that's why my indicators are the best in the market, and that's why they are classified actually like the #1 indicators in the entire market. So without further ado, guys, let's get started with this. First and foremost, as I said, we need the name of the indicator. We need the buffer. So we're going to start with the buffers quickly. So what I'm going to do is, as I showed you before, guys, what you can do is you can go to view and you can click on data window. And in the data window, any data that is like included in the indicator is going to actually show here, and it will show with the numbers and everything. So what I have here is arrow bull and arrow bear. So the buy arrow and the sell arrow, and you can see that I have added the whole text that say buffer buy 11 and buffer sell 12. The other thing that you can do is you can go and hover over the arrow that actually gives the buffer, and you can read that it says arrow bull buffer buy 11, right? And then the sell, it says arrow bear buffer sell 12. So we need 11, and I'm going to type it here, and the buffer up and the buffer down is going to be 12. Right. So with that being said, everything is set up, and I can go to whatever strategy that we talked about. We talked about the manual simulation, and we talked about the expert advisor strategies, and we are using in the test. We're only using the manual simulation because that's what a lot of people like to do. They don't like the expert advisor strategies that much, but also that's something that you can also use as well. So I'm going to scroll down and check, or scroll up and check the settings. So I have here the stop loss is true and the take profit is true as well. And I have the loss recovery, which is the expert advisor strategy, is turned off. And when that's set to false, all the rest in between here and all the way down to the margin setting is turned off basically. So the next thing is click on start button, right? No, I don't think so. That's wrong, because even if I click on the start button, there's nothing is going to happen. The whole thing is going to just be like this, right? And the worst of all is it's if you messed up the setting, this is what's going to happen basically. It's going to call whatever name that you have on the settings, because the name is still set to Smart Trend Trading System, and because the buffers are wrong. Notice how many trades are being opened, because they are using like some sort of a buffer inside of the Smart Trend Trading System that's calling the 11 and 12 that we use. So you have to pay very close attention to this. Even if the expert advisor is opening trades, and even if you see that the expert advisor is making money, it doesn't mean that everything is set up correctly, because you have to pay attention and you have to make sure that you're doing things right. So I'm going to go back to the settings, and I'll tell you guys why this expert advisor worked and why it's opening trades even though the settings is messed up. So in the settings, what we got here, we got this Smart Trend Trading System, and inside of the Trend Trading System code, there are buffers. Of course, there are buffers 11 and 12, because the Smart Trend Trading System is a huge code. It's like 6,000 lines of code, and it has a lot of buffers. So of course, it has 11 and 12. And what happened is that it's calling the Smart Trend Trading System, and it's using 11 and 12, whatever buffers that are in 11 and 12. I could go in the code and check whatever buffer that is based on that, and then that's why it's opening trades based on that. But that does not mean that it's right. It's wrong, because most of the time what's going to happen is if you forget to change the name, or if you use the wrong buffers, even if you use, for example, let's say I used Atomic Analyst and it's correct, and I messed up the buffers, but still worked in open trades, that does not mean that it's working. You have to pay very close attention, because you have to do exactly what you are intending to do, not getting confused between buffers and getting, for example, results, and you have that confirmation bias that, oh, this actually works, but it doesn't in reality, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to correct this by choosing the correct name. And what I have here is Atomic Analyst, and I told you guys about these lines. This is the line of the MQL5 file. This is the line of the indicator. So it sits under indicator. So all I have to do is type in Atomic Analyst, and I'm going to do that right now. Atomic Analyst. And I have to make sure again that I did not forget any letter. I did not put like 2 spaces, or I did not put any space in between. It has to be correct. But most of the time, guys, you are watching this video, it's going to be like this. It's going to be market in this, not this one again. I just like to repeat this video, because most of the people that are not using, for example, the Smart Trend Trading System, are going to go to the Atomic Analyst video, and they're not going to learn those tricks and tips that I showed you in the other video. But I encourage you guys, even if you did not get the Smart Trend Trading System, watch the Smart Trend Trading System and watch the Atomic Analyst. It's going to be useful. So we're going to use this one, right? Market. This is for you, not for me. For me, I have it under the. I'm not going to buy my own indicators. That's stupid. So I have it under files, right? So for you, it's going to be like this: market, Atomic Analyst. This is the right path of the file that's going to be called here, or that's the Smart Universal Expert Advisor going to communicate to the Atomic Analyst. So for me, I'm going to remove that, and that's going to be like Atomic Analyst in the same way that it's written here, as I said. And then the right buffers, as I said, is 11 for sell. You can hover over again, and if you forget, then you're gonna see the 12 for sell and the 11 for the buy. Now, the one thing that I want to mention, just to like remove a lot of confusion, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you the loss recovery. In the moment you turn this loss recovery on, the stop loss and take profit are completely removed, are not used, and instead what you're going to do is you're going to like set up a global take profit, which is going to be whatever pips that you sit here. In this example, it's 150 points. That's going to be 15 pips, and then every trade that is opened, it's gonna be set up without stop loss, and it's gonna be chasing that 15 pips. If it got to the 15 pips, and you can use even just 10 pips, and this is a famous thing in MQL5 here in the market. Most of the expert advisors use the 10 pips, which is the 100 points. And then if you got that 10 pips, that's beautiful. If you did not get it and the market reverses against you, this is where the loss recovery, the whole thing about loss recovery comes, because we're trying to recover that loss that we got in. And then on top of the loss recovery, there is the drawdown recovery. So you try to recover the loss, and you fall into a drawdown. I have another strategy that's called the drawdown recovery, and it's down here. And then you can also use that as well to recover from the drawdown. So these techniques are really smart, and they actually work, and you'll be surprised. And that's why I want you guys to test the whole thing. So without talking a lot about this, I just want to like mention this, because most of these videos I'm using the manual simulation, but I'm going to try and use the loss recovery as well in the drawdown recovery strategies in the next video. So I'm going to just click on the start button, and the test is going to start straightforward. And you can notice now that there was no sales, like the high amount of sales that opens and closes, because now the communication is set up right in the Smart Universal Expert Advisor is looking for these arrows here. And whenever the arrow is planted, it's going to open a trade. So guys, this is one of the things as well that you can do, is to just take your time, and don't be afraid of these things. Don't be afraid to test. Don't be afraid to use these things. Just mess it up, right? Mess it up and do it again. Mess it up and do it again. That's how you're going to learn. Unless if you do this, you're not going to basically learn. As you can see, guys, here, the moment the arrow planted plotted on the market on the chart here, at the close of that candle, in the open of the new candle, right before the open of the new candle, that's where you're going to sit. That's where the expert advisor is going to open the trade. And I have set the stop loss to be 500 pips and the take profit to be half of that, which is 250. And you can see it here, 250 and 500. And I can show you that indeed that's what I have set up in the settings. So the lot is fixed to 0.01, and the stop loss is 500, and the take profit is half of that, 0.5, which is half of the 500 to 250. And that's what's going to happen here. The Smart Universal Expert Advisor is going to open trades based on the Atomic Analyst in whatever take profit. For example, let's say in the future, actually, we're working on new updates, and the updates are going to touch basically these settings right here that we have on the Smart Universal Expert Advisor, and the input in the buffers. So we got the buy stop loss buffer, sell stop loss buffer, and take profit buffers as well. And these are set by -1, which means that they're not active. If it's -1, it's not active. Don't put anything, guys, here, because as I told you before, any number that you put is going to be called in here. And that the reason why it's -1, because there's no buffer that's called -1 in the coding, unless if somebody did it. But I don't think that like it's going to call -1, because at least in my codes there's no -1. That's why it's not going to work, right? It's not going to call anything, basically. It's like turning it off, as simple as that. So the new update is going to be touching these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the buffer for this stop loss line and a buffer for the take profits, and then you can add those buffers here, so that in a way that whenever the price touches this line here, it's going to close with a loss, or whenever it touches this line here, it's going to close with a profit. As easy as that. So that's one of the things that I'm working on, and hopefully it's going to be ready in the future, so that the Atomic Analyst is going to be like set up with completely with in a perfect way with the Smart Universal Expert Advisor. And you can see, guys, this trade turned out to be working, and at least we get like up to take profit number 4, and it got closed right at take profit number 4. Now we're waiting for the other signal, and this is how it's going to work. Like you've got $2.5 here, you get, because that's how much, like 250 points or 225 pips got from this lot size, which is 0.01. But you can change the lot size. Now if you're doing this manual simulation, you can actually use the percentage, and it's going to open 1% of your account, and it's going to be setting the lot size in that way. That's another trade that got opened here, guys, from this from the Atomic Analyst. We got the arrow. We get the arrow, and then at the close of the arrow we opened, and here we got to take profit 3, which still is good. And it's going to keep on opening trades as the arrows appear, and you can test this, guys. You can take your time testing and testing and testing. Tests actually are the most important thing in the entire setup, because it's just how it is. Like, it's impossible that you are going to do anything without tests. You have to test all the time, and you have to make your tests. You have to do it, and you have to do it in the right way. So you have to also take in consideration that the Atomic Analyst, the good thing about the Atomic Analyst is it's going to still give you multiple trades in the same trend. So let's say that this is a small trend, this is a small trend. So you can see that we got a trade here, which closed with take profit, and we've got another trade inside of the same small trend. And this is one of the things that also is good about the Atomic Analyst, is it works on a ranging market, and it also works on a trending market. So that's another trade again that is given here, and this is very interesting, right? So It's not like you have to wait for a trade to open in like, for example, if this is 1 hour chart, it's going to take like 24 hours to open another trade. It's actually very active. And we are working also on adding a filter on the atomic analyst so that the accuracy is going to increase. And let's see, guys, how all these things go. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you learned, at least from as far as I'm concerned. I'm just trying to teach you guys how to use the tool, but the tests is up to you. The settings is up to you. My goal here is to give you the right tools and to help you understand what's going on in the MQL5 market in general and how the MQL5 tools work. And I want to bring those things to you, and I'll bring you all these things into you, like they give you the power to use the tools in a way that you don't even need the coding. You don't even need to know how to code, but you still are going to like use the tools, like if you are a developer, like if you are if you understand coding. And that's the point here. And I hope that I'm helping, because guys, I highly recommend you guys to like reach out to me if you need anything, and I'll be happy to help. And also, guys, support me with reviews. Like, you don't have, like, you're not gonna lose anything if you take 2 minutes and you review the tool that you're using. Just say whatever you think about it initially, and even if it's initially, let's say you buy it right now and you saw it initially, just leave a good review initially of what you think about it. But the review is updatable. You can update it at any time. These reviews has actually helped me and like makes me willing to give more and willing to create more and willing to help you guys as much as I can. Whatever you have, whatever question, guys, you have, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you, as I always say. And that's it. See you guys in the next video.